the biscuit, taste the pain. 3 years running, second place again. We used to lead, now we just chase. Didn't even touch first this time, what a waste. Don't touch that soccer songs. He's Limp Bizkit, smooth but still no boss. 5 years dry, no shiny prize, just pretty passes and Twitter cries. Taste the biscuit, taste the bluff. It's all clean boots, but not enough. Arteta talks like we're built to win, but silverware's allergic to the North London grin. We brought win the dog, but we lose even more. 3 times second, never the king. And this year, we didn't even lead a thing. Same TikTok reels, same post-match tears, same false dawns for 5 long years. From invincible pride to annual pain, we chase our tail like it's part of the game. Limp Bizkit fence, fans still cheer, but the empty cabinet echoes loud and clear. Taste the biscuit, taste the drought. We talk the loudest, but still missed out. Stinker and hooked. Taste the biscuit, taste the pain. 3 years running.
Second place again. What a banger, bro. That's just an absolute banger, to be honest with you. I love this song. I think I'm going to start all my streams this year with this song. I'm in love with this song. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys, absolutely incredible, amazing people. Please do like the video. Please do subscribe. And we're here, and we're here to talk about a lot of things today. Spurs are low-key cooking, ladies and gentlemen. High-key cooking. Kudus, done. Gibbs White, done. So that's something we're going to be talking about. Arsenal, Gyokeres deal looking like it might be off. You know, more drama down the Arsenal side. And we're going to be asking Big Andrew, does he think that Chelsea can beat the mighty Paris Saint-Germain tomorrow? And we're going to ask him, are Chelsea cooking? I saw him doing prop for me for the Joao Pedro take. I'm going to hold that over the Chelsea fans' heads for the rest of their life. You get me? Aww. You're upset? You're upset? Big up to you, though. Anyway, joining us first and foremost, you get me, making his return to the channel. Everyone's favorite surfer down these areas. How you doing, Andrew, mate?
Limp Bizkit face. And the fans.
It's a great song, isn't it?
Stinker and hooked. I love that song.
It's a great song, right?
It's a great song. Yeah.
Thank you for all the people hating. Why are you hating, bro?
I don't know why people have a problem with it. You know what I mean? It's just a bit of banter. You know what I mean? I mean, we sing worse songs about each other's clubs in the ground than that. You know what I mean? Very offensive songs as well. I can't repeat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is
it's
true.
One of those. Yeah, all good, man. All good. Glad to be back. Getting back into the swing of things. So I had to shave my insanely overgrowth beard. So that had to.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I saw Jimmy act like he's shocked just because your beard is a bit. You get me, like trimmed up. You know?
It went from like I was traveling for 6 months and hadn't shaved to like just where it should be. So, but all good, man. All good. Talk some transfers.
Yes.
Chelsea.
Yes. Talk football as well. Yep.
Some football. 100%. So
100%.
Good to go. Let's do this.
Joining us next, the man that never keeps his mouth shut, the man that is as talkative as they come, the man that represents Arsenal very positively on these platforms, and he hates all the negative people. I wonder how he feels about Madueke, but you get me. We're gonna get there when we get there. He knows he's my brother. He knows how much I love him. Man, like Dayo's in the building. Hi, Dayo.
Jay, in fact, Hussam, I don't know where to start with you, but let me first say, Andrew, Happy New Year. Happy New Year again. It feels like it's been that long though. Let's be honest. It feels like it's been a whole
it's been a while with Andrew, innit?
It feels that way, bro, man. Good to see you again, man. Good to see you.
Happy New Year to everyone for the one that passed and the one upcoming as well. So
nice. So man. At least we're here. We talk transfers as everybody's been saying. So far, so good on my end. I'm just going to, like I said last season, I always wait till the end of the transfer window before I criticize anything. I'm not one of those people because anything can happen on the last day. I saw a Thomas Partey deal happen on the last day before, so I don't.
We've seen Raheem Sterling happen on the last day.
Yeah, we've seen a good player. We've seen a bad player. This might be another good player. You never know. So
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Bad. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. You
never know.
But for me, the most important thing is until that last day, then I can criticize the signings in totality.
Wrong. The most important thing is to like and subscribe, chat. That's the most important thing. You get is to like and subscribe. Guys, you want to know what's better than one Arsenal fan? 2 Arsenal fans. So making his return to the channel has been a while, actually, but I think it's just because I do my shows a bit too late for him. He's an old man now. You get me? He's about 47 years old. How you doing, Brandon? You good? Hi, Brandon. I think he's lagged out completely, by the way.
He's using 1990 technology. He's 67. He just looks young.
At heart.
No, you don't get it right. And I know it's going to sound...
He's probably still listening to the Taste the Biscuit song.
It's going to sound really wussy, right? But Brandon and I aren't built for this hot weather, man. It takes it out of us, the humidity. Do you know what I mean?
Hi, Brandon. Do you know you're on stream? What's going on? Because
I do now. My internet was bugging.
Hi. Oh God! Like 10 years later, 144. Fair enough, eh? That was 2G. Guys, remember BlackBerry when we had like the 2G thing? Remember when it just say like
BlackBerry
E at the top?
BlackBerry. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
They were really expensive back in the day as well.
Oh yeah, they were. That was going to be the next big thing.
This is how expensive BlackBerries were.
But you know what's
when
crazy?
I finished high school, my dad got me a BlackBerry as a graduation gift. That's how expensive that shit was.
But you know what's crazy? You know who uses BlackBerries today?
Who?
Government people.
Yeah, they do. They still do. Yeah.
Really? They still use it?
Yeah, the BlackBerry platform is more secure than any other phone network platform up until now. The enterprise for
I remember using the BlackBerry Messenger as well. We used to nudge people, ping people as well. I remember.
Yeah, they have. I think a lot of government.
Like BBM was hitting. BlackBerry Messenger was definitely like a thing. That shit
BBM
was
was
elite,
good.
bro. And then Android fucked it. There you are. There you are. Thank you, Android. You fucked my whole life experience. You get me. Didn't you finish high school in 1976? Did you not receive a 5-minute timeout just now? Look, you received the timeout. There you see. See? You try another joke, Fonzie? You're writing comments that no one can read.
That's very ironic. That's very ironic. The name Fonzie asking someone if they finished in 1976.
Yeah, well, his name's Fonzie and he watches anime. He watches anime. He's a grown-ass man. He watches anime. Okay. Watches cartoons. Anyway, joining us on this channel, I think this is his first time here. He was meant to be here one day, but after they won the Europa League final, but I think he was out celebrating. So he got to be. He's never seen Spurs win a trophy. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just let him be happy, man, because it's like first time in forever. I've actually been on his channel with Tom Little, previewing our Carabao Cup semi. And we all know how that ended right there. But joining us on the channel is man like Jay. How you doing, Jay, man?
Bloody wonderful, mate. You know what I mean? Basking in my European glory. Thanks for having me on. Big up the chat. Big up everyone, man. We got money. I'm feeling rich. You know what I mean? It's amazing. Daniel Levy. Yeah, where have you been all my life, mate? You know what I mean? But I'm sure we'll talk about it, man. Big up,
We will,
bro.
we will, we will, we will. Make sure guys are listening to Luke. Thank you, Luke, for the super chat. He just says hit the likes on your way, and make sure guys are listening to him and liking the video, please. Every single one of you guys. Look, I don't want to keep stopping the show to say it. There's 800 people in here already. We haven't even started the stream yet. Just like the video. Have some shame. We can't be on not even 200 likes yet. Close your live chat and please like the video right now. Also, all these guys' channels is in the description. Hotspur Cave, True Gunners TV, Casual FC, and Banter on the Pitch. Please go give them all a subscribe. Subscribe to every single one of them. You get me? Because they're going to make today's stream absolutely elite. So big up to them as well for joining us. So do hit that like button, all of you guys, and subscribe to the channel right here, right now. Hi, Brandon. Can you hear us now? Everything good?
I'm back. I'm back. Come on.
Brandon.
You're back for now. That's all that matters.
Big up to my Greek brother who says, I love Dayo. He waffles with reason and serious tone. You know, that's the best insult ever.
You know what? See, I need 10 people in the chat, right, to diss me with your super chat. Like, just take the mic today. Enjoy it today. Today I'm in a good mood, so I'll take anything you say.
Let's
I'm
go.
in a good mood. I won't respond.
But Loki, this is like a sophisticated insult, you know? He waffles
Very
with
sophisticated.
reason, like very sophisticated, you know? Nothing insulting, nothing condescending. It's just like he waffles, but the tone is amazing.
He waffles, but I listen to him.
He waffles with a serious tone, bro. How the fuck you come up with that shit? Anyway, let's start off with the Spurs actually, because I feel like Spurs is a club that we haven't really spoken about a lot on this channel, and you know we've kind of have spoken about Chelsea and Arsenal a lot specifically over these last 48 hours. So let's actually get a Spurs opinion in, and let's see what Spurs are cooking over there in 17th. So Morgan Gibbs White is going to be a Spurs player. Kudus is going to be a Spurs player. Thomas Frank as well is the new manager, of course, replacing Ainge. How do you feel about your Spurs situation currently, Jay?
You know what, yeah? If you want me to be so honest with you, at the start of the window for like 2 weeks, for about the first 2 weeks of the window, I was crashing out on stream every single day, non-stop. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yo, where's my signings? You're telling me about Mateus Tell and Kevin Danso were our only signings, and I was seeing like Chelsea go and sign 3 strikers. You see Liverpool bring in Wirtz and Frankfurt. You're seeing other teams get business done. It's like, yo, what's going on? We just like, yeah, we won a trophy, but like, not being funny, it's over now, isn't it? Like, it's over now. Get on with it. Then all of a sudden, this last couple of days, I'm hearing about Saudi cash injections, and Joe Lewis finally decided to put his own money into the club for once. And we're just spending money, and I'm here for it. If it means that we're gonna win a trophy and get back into Europe next season, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Kudus, I won't lie. Yeah, at first I wasn't really excited about the Kudus signing, more so because of the price. I thought West Ham were trying to fleece us, and I'm like, yo, they were talking about Tottenham tax, you know, all this nonsense that there's with their fake rivalries and shit. But 55 million, I said, all right. And then I was meant to be on Lewis's stream. I woke up late and I saw that we signed Morgan Gibbs White, and I said, okay, shit. He might be cooking something here. We might be cooking something. So if I'm being honest right now, it feels great to be a Spurs fan, bro. It feels great. No one can say war a trophy to me. Do you know what I mean? We're signing players. Life is good. And Arsenal got our academy reject. Yeah, everyone's talking about, they signing Chelsea scrubs. Don't forget where that bum came from. Yeah, don't forget why we shipped him out. Because he's a bum. And he will always be a bum. But good luck with that, you lot. But yeah, man. That.
Guys, we spoke about this.
So yeah, I mean,
hello.
I'm the most impressive signing for me is actually Danso. Really, I like Danso in terms of he was very impressive for you guys every time he came, especially in the final European the Cup when he was just clearing everything. I think that's a great signing. I'm not sure about Tell, if I'm honest with you, in terms of that. Kudus, I'm not going to diss that. I wanted Kudus at my club. Very good signing. But Morgan Gibbs White, that's sort of up in the air. But also, I think the most important signing you've made is Thomas Frank. That's the most important signing you've made this summer, because it's now his chance to show how good he is, because he's had the limitations of Brentford in terms of that, always on a budget and everything like that. Now he's got the chance to show how good he is, and he's taken the right step. No offence, but Spurs was the right step for Thomas Frank. He shouldn't be going to an Arsenal, a Chelsea, a Liverpool, a City, stuff like that. He should be going to Tottenham, and building his reputation further. I like the signing. I like the signing of Morgan Gibbs-White. If you do sign him, because I think he's better in that sort of position that a Maddison would be in. I think he's more athletic. I think he'll add power and drive to that position if you're able to do that. I still think you need to sign another couple of midfielders, because I think Basuma is average at best, and I think Sarr, and Bergvall are. I think it's too much for them to take on a Champions League campaign. You need more than that. I still think you need maybe another striker as well, because I'm not too sure about what's his name from Bournemouth?
Solanke. Yeah, he's
shit. Yeah. I'm not too sure, but then again, it's under a new manager now. We can't. We have to not judge these players because they're not going to be under Ange now. Do you know what I mean? Ange's suicide tactics. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to have to see what formation Frank makes and what improvement players make and everything like that under him. I think it's a good start to the window for Spurs, and I don't think they'll finish 17th again. Whether they finish top 4 or not, that might be too much this season, but I think they should definitely be thinking
you're giving too much kudos. You said Thomas Frank is the most important signing they've made. When Mourinho, Poch, Nuno Espirito Santo, like all these guys did not even succeed there. Even Ange, who eventually got a trophy. Hold on. I'm going to even Ange. So let's not even make it like it's again. This is not because I'm an Arsenal fan. Let's be realistic. Let's just talk football and how the clubs are run. Tottenham owners are more interested in making money from their stadium and their business than the football itself. You can see it from the outside. I'm not trying to diss the game or the style of players you have or whatever. Kudus is an amazing signing. Morgan Gibbs-White, I think is a good player. Romero, I think is a good player. Like there are players in your team that I can point and say, you know what? If we're going to talk football, we can class them in certain places. But we're talking about how your owners perceive what it is for them. You just said something right now. One of your owners finally put his personal money into the club. After how long? Yeah. He waited for one trophy to be won before he decided to put money in the club. But on the business side, he was raking out interest every year when you do concerts, when you do events.
It doesn't got anything to do with Thomas.
I'm just saying that your owners, again, they might give him all the players that he wants, and if they don't give him a squad, if Thomas Frank doesn't have a deep squad, if there's injuries like you had injuries to what's his name, your midfielder last season, Maddison, who I rate very much, but because of the injuries on and off, you saw how he wasn't performing consistently, and you can't blame that on the manager as well. You need squad depth, and if they don't address that, and your owners don't address that. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think they'll address me. I don't think they'll address everything, and also
I know.
I'm just saying. Think in January, if they need something, I still don't think they'll address it in January either. So
why?
I don't think.
Why not?
Because Dayo's right in a way before he ripped my head off. But although you've got investment, I think investment's good. We all know that clubs really don't like to spend in January anyway, right? They just don't. But I think Spurs will be. I don't think if you're close to a top 4 race, I don't think Spurs spend anything in January, to be honest. And I don't think even if you do, but I just don't. You're asking us to change a perception of 24 years because it's still Daniel Levy in charge, right? No matter what the investment is, it's still everything's going to run through him. We've seen you make, where I do credit you, you've made big signings, but we've seen you make big signings before. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's not. Just the thing is that he does it. It's not even that. And you make a fair point. I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. Yeah, I would argue personally that Levy spends money, he just spends it on the wrong things and in the wrong places, and he overspends on things that he shouldn't overspend. Like, for example, would anyone on this panel take Richarlison at their football club for 60 million British pounds?
I wouldn't take him for 60 pounds.
There you go. Exactly. But Daniel Levy, 60 million, he'll throw it at that. So I don't even necessarily think it's just we won't spend money. I just guarantee if we do spend money, it will probably be on a Timo Werner. Like
I know,
exactly, like exactly what we did.
that's what I'm saying though. I'm saying that your ownership, right? Even though they spend money to recoup the money. So again, Daniel Levy can spend 60 million on Richarlison, knowing fully well that over 5 years, Spurs are the team, maybe jersey sales or whatever else they're doing on the side will cover for it. Like the guy doesn't really he's not really about your football. You guys have some Son.
Yeah, but we know
That is the
that.
player.
Though.
That is the player that
Sorry,
and
Dayo.
that's why
I
I
didn't
said.
mean to cut
And
you,
that's
brother.
why I said.
As Tottenham fans, we know that though. We're used
I
to
know.
that.
That's why I said. That's why I said the
he's
signings you have now.
That's why
And
he's employed. There's new people at our football club. Our club's
okay,
being run
we'll see
differently
then.
now.
We'll see.
No,
We'll
no,
see.
no. But I'm telling you.
I know, but I have to see it.
Information.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not factual. I'm saying, but I have to see the result on the outside. I'm not. I don't follow your club like you do. You have more details about the inside workings and who you've hired and all that. But me as an external person, until I see the fruits, you might be planting a seed now. You tell me you have a tree, but until the fruits start to drop, I don't know you have a tree.
But you can't deny I have a tree either because
no. I have to believe. I'm like I said, when I see the fruits, yeah, boom.
But then, do you think it's everyone's saying Spurs are still shit? We haven't even played a game of football. We haven't played a game of football.
That's just banter, right? Like that's
yeah,
just
of course.
The same way you said what you said at the end of your speech. So
and the last thing I will say is this: yeah. Although yes, we do need to make signings. We do have a squad of players. That injury crisis was on Ange Postecoglou and no one else. We can all agree on that. That injury crisis was on Ange. I put that on Ange because if you see the way we play football, yeah, week in, week out, 2 centre-backs on the halfway line, 6 attackers, you're going to get injuries. 100 miles an hour for 90 minutes. 38 games a season. No, that was always bound to happen, right? Now we've got a different manager. Who's to say that Thomas Frank doesn't improve certain players? He doesn't improve certain players.
And who's to say he doesn't fail as well? What? But who's to say he doesn't fail as well? We don't. That's why I said we have to wait and see. We rate Thomas Frank. Don't get it wrong. Listen, don't get it wrong. No, don't get it wrong. I rate Thomas Frank. I rate Kudus. I rate Morgan Gibbs White. I rate all these players. But I've seen my team. We've brought good players and they've been crap. It happens. Like I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying I have to wait and see now. It looks like you're heading in the right direction. You have a better manager that I think is a better manager than any other manager available right now in the Premier League. You've brought in some really good players. I think if you fill a few slots and you have a squad, we'll see what happens. So maybe again, I've seen you hire.
I think my bomb opinion.
I've seen you hire Poch. I've seen you hire Mourinho. Hold on, I've seen your club hire Mourinho.
Sam, bring that comment up, please.
Listen, I've seen your club hire Mourinho.
Scottish Bear 582. Sorry, bro. One sec. Scottish Bear 582. This is so false. This is false. Ange Postecoglou is the hamstring murderer. He's notorious for murdering hamstrings.
Let's also face it. Celtic beat most teams 4 or 5-0 with 45 minutes to go.
They could have put their cleaners out on the pitch.
Don't have to run that much. Let's not do this.
Let's not do this, man.
I think what most people don't realize is if you do that with that league and you try to compare with the Premier League again, it's not the same level. So
the thing is, look, this is the opinion that I was gonna drop. I have a bomba opinion. I think one of Spurs or Man United are gonna shock the world in the league this season. In a positive manner. I don't know which one yet. I'm still waiting to see how Thomas Frank implements his style and his blah, blah, blah. But I think one of these two bum-ass clubs is going to shock the world this year and actually finish 5th or something. Because Newcastle already have shown before, when they have Champions League football, they can't make Champions League football.
So do people predict we're going to finish really low again?
No. I'm in agreement with you, Hassan, by the way. I actually genuinely think this, and I ain't just saying this just to glaze Tottenham, because that's the last thing that I want to do. But, I don't think that Tottenham's squad is a 13th, 14th place squad, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, I think Thomas Frank's the perfect fit for Tottenham. He's one of the old-fashioned managers, right? A lot of managers these days have to buy players that suit their system. Thomas Frank has been used to working at Brentford, who have one of the lowest budgets in the Premier League. So his sole focus is getting the best out of the players that he has available to him, because he knows he's not going to be able to sign 50, 60 million pound players every year at Brentford. Now, Tottenham do have the ability to go out there and sign big players, as they're showing right now. However, we know Daniel Levy is quite very tight with the purse strings as well. So I think Thomas Frank is the perfect fit for Tottenham. I think he plays a decent style of football as well. And I think he can get the best out of some of the players that, have maybe underperformed for Tottenham. So I think you're right, Hussam. I think it'll be United or Tottenham. One of them two are going to surprise a lot of people this season. And I just think it will be Tottenham, personally.
United, the question is over more like their manager and shit. Like, how does he work with these guys? But
again, he's another one, though, Hussam. He's another one that's very system-based. If you don't get the players that fits his system, then ultimately Man United are pretty knackered. Like,
no, I understand. I'm saying the question with Amorim is his style, and does it work in the Premier League? That's the question for me with Amorim.
And we've already seen that he's not willing to change his style to suit the play.
Him do it at Brentford.
Thomas Frank will try and do whatever's best to get the best out of the players, I think.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. One of them will shock.
One of them will shock, but again, I'm just looking at history. That's all.
It's on the same point. Sorry, just because he's making a point about Spurs. Tottenham finishing 5th is not shocking. Their squad is decent. They are Newcastle, Aston Villa level. If United finish above 8th, that would be shocking. I'll tell you why I disagree with you. When you play one game a week, it helps you. The thing with Man United is they are playing one game a week, and we've seen the impact that it's had. Like, I've seen my club almost win a league title because we played one game a week. Andrew's seen his club win the league title when playing one game a week. So we know the impact that it has in terms of, like, players are fully rested, fully like relaxed and stuff like this. And in terms of finishing in the top 5, look, I think Man United versus Spurs is a very interesting conversation, because we know Spurs got the trophy, so they beat Man United head-to-head. Actually, they beat them head-to-head 4 times, not just
home, away, and abroad.
Yes, home, away, and like in every competition, basically. So they've done their job, but now it's a Amorim versus Thomas Frank thing. Here's my opinion. I don't think Newcastle can stay in the Champions League spots while competing in Champions League football, because I don't think they have the squad for it. Aston Villa are in the Europa League, and we know that affects clubs negatively. Crystal Palace, Forest, same thing, whether it be Europa or Conference. You get me, one of them. We all know Forest are snitches, so Crystal Palace now are in the...
I need to rant about them in a sec. Sorry, but go ahead.
Oh, Forest, don't worry. Wolfie's not here. You don't have to lose your shit. I promise. It's just the only reason why we care about Forest is Wolfie. I promise you. If Wolfie did not exist, no one would have. I promise you, no one would care about Forest. It's just because Wolfie exists. You get me? And he's the biggest rage baiter in his whole app. Like,
so bad.
He's 10 out of 10 rage bait. That's why for me, sometimes I just let him, do the rage bit and just ignore it. That way he can't win. You get me? Because you're gonna get me mad. Forest fan, you spent your whole life in the championship. Allow it. So I think I agree with Brandon. I think the club that's gonna shock us all is actually gonna be Spurs. Because Thomas Frank has that Premier League experience. He does.
Yeah,
and the smart thing that Spurs are doing, Dayo, the final point, the smart thing that Spurs are doing is they're signing Premier League proven players. Kudus don't need time to adjust to shit. Gibbs White don't need time to adjust to shit. Like, they don't need to adjust to what? They already know the league. They already know the players. They already know all that.
Hussam, but this is what I mean. I agree with you. The method, like I said, I think they're in the right direction now. That's what I think. This is from looking from the outside. But if I look back at, when I say history of what Tottenham has done, Tottenham has signed some amazing managers in the past. Conte, Nuno, Mourinho, Pochettino, AVB. Like, you can go down the list. Redknapp, Harry, like, you can go down the list of managers. Glenn Hoddle, like, what are we talking about here? This is the club that has signed some of the biggest managers in English football history. Some of the biggest names. Mourinho is a massive name in the history of football and in the EPL as well. So, and because they did nothing with them, I feel like, okay, I rate Thomas Frank. So let's see what Thomas Frank does. I'm not saying he's going to fail. No, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I think he's in the right direction. If he does well, kudos. He's broken that jinx. But just looking back at the type of managers that they've signed in the past and the players they've had, You've had managers who were so good and had players like.
Okay, what managers have been successful?
I don't know which of your managers have been that successful.
Right.
I'm just
Okay.
This is the thing.
I'll ask this then.
This is why I think
this is for the whole panel, right? When we brought Poch in, where did we get it from? Southampton. Was he a big, flashy name manager?
No, he wasn't.
But he nearly got us to the promised land there. Okay,
nearly.
Cool. And when we brought in Ange, would anyone here say Ange Postecoglou is a
what
big,
about the other big names? I'm talking about the Contes. What about the Mourinhos? What about the AVBs?
Okay, cool. Hold on.
Yeah.
When we brought in
that's all I'm saying. Would
anyone say that Ange Postecoglou is a flashy name manager?
No, that's why I didn't mention Ange. I didn't mention
this
Ange.
Is why
what you're doing is disingenuous. I didn't mention Ange. I didn't mention Ange.
Of course,
the managers that I mentioned. Listen, hold on. Address the managers that I mentioned. I mentioned.
Yeah, but you're saying
I mentioned
Mourinho.
I mentioned Conte.
Okay, let me address the managers that you mentioned then. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had brought in Xavi, if we had brought in Inzaghi or Simeone, then your point would hold some weight because then you're talking about. Hold on, let me land my point, please, bro. Then your point would hold some weight because we're talking about big, flashy, win now managers that you bring in, you give them 200, 300 million pound war chest, and you tell them win me the league this season now, right? Thomas Frank is not that. Thomas Frank is a manager that you bring in and you keep him for 4 or 5 years. He develops your young players. Yes, he may pick up a trophy on the way and whatnot. And he gets your club into a position where success is sustainable or you're on the brink of success. And then you go and get a win now manager and you win now. That is what Thomas Frank is. So you talking about Conte failing, Mourinho failing, Jose failing, we know that. Hence why we don't have that esque manager anymore. Hence why the club have gone down a different route. Like Sam said, like the rest of the panel have said, he doesn't need a bigger budget. Yet now we have more money. But he doesn't need a massive transfer budget. Why? Because he's used to working with players that aren't as developed as the players at Liverpool, as the players at City, as even the players at Arsenal. Look how far ahead Arsenal are in terms of their development than Tottenham, even though we've just won a trophy. Let's be real.
But you see, again, I'm addressing what Hossam said as part of the point. And I think maybe you think I'm trying to knock your club. No, I actually said you're on the right track.
No,
hold on. I think your manager is good. I think you're signing ready now players with a manager that is tactically aware, very good, and a very intelligent manager. Thomas Frank, I rate him. Don't get it twisted. I rate that dude. Like he's a manager that I would look at if the market was empty and like, okay, go get a good manager in the Premier League, I'll take him. Don't get it wrong. And again, you're signing good players, Morgan, Gibbs, White, Kudus. So what you're showing me is these are not players you want to overly develop anymore. These are players you want to put into your tactical system to make something work after winning a trophy. Because if you were talking about developmental players, then he'll be bringing in certain levels of players. And you're like, okay, Thomas Frank is going to develop these guys over the next 2, 3, 4 seasons. Like Chelsea is getting young players to develop them over the next couple of years, right? That's what you'll be talking about. But right now, the kind of players you're bringing in with the players you already have, Maddison, Kudus, you're bringing these guys are already experienced.
That's how you build a winning team, bro.
I know, but that's what I'm saying though. So that's why I said. That's why I said for me, because I've seen good managers go to your club and not succeed. Fingers crossed for Thomas Frank with the right kind of players. He's in the right direction. Let's see what he does. That's all I said.
I still think though, Dayo, you're overlooking something here, right? When Mourinho and Conte came into Tottenham, the culture there stunk, right? This Tottenham side's just won a trophy. The culture's slightly different now. Remember when Mourinho was at Man United and he talked about football heritage, talked about where Man United finished in Champions League group stage knockouts and all that lot, right? It's all relevant really, because now that Tottenham side, right, whether you rate the Europa League or not, or whether you think it's one of the top trophies or not, they've experienced winning a trophy as a squad now, and now they're adding better players to this squad, and they've got a change of a manager who suits the way that Tottenham want to operate. You know, he's perfect for them. He's ideal for them. I dare bet you that if Thomas Frank had the budget at Brentford, he would go for players like Morgan Gibbs White. He would go for players like Kudus, but he just didn't have the budget there. So now he's not having to work with these young players and develop them. he's got the option there now at Tottenham to go and get better players for more value and money. But also, he's not quite in the top tier where he's shopping in the markets of, like, let's say the Rodrygos, etc., because they're not quite there yet. I think Thomas Frank's going to be a great manager for Tottenham. I can't lie.
See, Brandon, I agree with you. Like the mentality might be different at the club now because they just won a trophy. But again, you have to look at the context around it. Ange won that trophy and Ange was kicked out. So yeah, the players are excited about winning a trophy. Now it's a new manager coming in with a new type of style. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to fail. I'm just saying, like, Thomas Frank is going to have to.
All I'm saying is one of them two clubs is
one of them two clubs.
I don't know which
but
one.
Again, I think Tottenham is on the right track. My big thing is I just look back at the history and I'm like, these guys have had some amazing managers. I hope this guy can do something with this. I hope Thomas Frank can do something because it'll be painful to see him go to Tottenham, knowing fully well what he did with Brentford with no budget. Now going to Tottenham and not being able to do something, that would be very painful for that guy.
I'm glad you hope. I'm glad you hope that he succeeds. I don't. I want him to get relegated.
Someone fit that. Thank you.
No, I hope for his own sake, and his own career, man. Like, dude, as a manager at Brentford, like, let's be realistic. If all the real top managers were already somewhere, if a big club is looking for a manager, Thomas Frank will be on their list. He'll be on their list. Let's be realistic, So for his own,
he was highly spoken about when
Klopp was, for his own career, for his own sake and his own career, he better do well.
And speaking of doing well, better doing well, you get me? Perfect transition, talk about Chelsea, because they better do well tomorrow. Big up to all of you guys. First and foremost, make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing right here, right now. Remember, all these guys' channels is in the description. Please go give them a subscribe. Guys, just hit the like button, subscribe, man. It's free, costs nothing. Close the live chat and like the video.
Oh, where are my super chat disses? You just diss me in the comment. If you're going to insult me in the comment, make it a super chat. What's
this
wrong
is the
with
best
me?
insult right here.
Yeah,
I love Dayo. He waffles with reason and serious tone.
Bring it on today. Bring it on.
Super chat right
because
now.
I can't catch it in the comments. Sometimes it's too fast. Just
get your super chat in, guys.
Get your insulting super chat in. I am here for it.
Hey, if you understand the reference, you understand the reference. Anyway, let's talk. Chelsea tomorrow, obviously, big game. Club World Cup final against easily the best team in Europe right now, the best team in the world, actually. How do you feel about this game, Andrew? Do you think there's any hope, or are you hopeless?
Yeah, there's always a hope. It's a final. It's a football match. It's one-off. I know we are not favourites. That's fine. I know everyone will pick PSG over us. It's just natural. But there's always a hope. You know what I mean? I don't fear. Last couple of years I've never feared playing anyone. I just feared what we couldn't do. I think we're a good match for them. I want to see how far we've come. Really, I want to see. This is a big test for us. It's a big test for these players. It's a big test for the coach. They're arguably the best team in the world. No, it's not arguable. They are the best team in the world. They slapped aside Real Madrid, but I don't rate this Real Madrid at this moment in time. They're a very dysfunctional team, and they also handed them a 2-goal lead, which is fine. People talk to us about the run to the final we've been on, but they don't mention that those teams knocked out Juventus and Man City along the way, so it's not our fault. Which side of the draw we're on? It just happened. There's a midfield battle is going to be key. He has to get his starting selection right in that for us to stand a chance. But we've also got it'd be fascinating to see how we react to their interchanging attacks. They don't play with a striker. I think we played in every game. I think we played every team's had like a central point striker that we've had to go up against and everything like that. So I'm up for this, man. I don't, I want to see. I don't mind skanking a 1-0 win. It's a trophy. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. If you have to skank a 1-0 win, I don't really care. Everyone just goes, "Oh, Chelsea will have to be at their very best and stuff like that." I don't know what this very best to Chelsea is at this moment in time because do you know what I mean? I've not seen the levels, but I don't mind skanking a 1-0 win. It's all good. So is there hope for me? Yes, I think we could. As long as Sanchez has a quiet game, I'm fine. Yeah, I don't need.
Jay, before you head out, tell me your thoughts on this Chelsea thing tomorrow.
I'm a bit indifferent because I low-key want them to slap PSG over, kill their momentum. So when we play them in a couple of weeks, they'll be all
Oh, that's
deflated.
gonna be a murder, and you know it. You know it.
And we can, but you know what PSG, they're collecting Infinity Stones right now. You know what I'm saying? They're just killing off everyone. So, boy, and Sanchez in goal. Oh, mate. Good luck with that one. I know Lewis absolutely hates that guy. So,
yeah,
it's
I hear Chelsea fans go, Sanchez has to have the game of his life. Nope.
The funniest thing ever will
be
be
quiet.
just like Sanchez just gives the ball to a PSG player and they win 1-0. It's gonna be the funniest shit ever.
He everyone thinks he played well. You know the funny thing about Sanchez. Everyone thinks he played well at the end of the season.
I swear to God, I'm telling everyone right now, if Sanchez just gives the ball to a PSG player and PSG won 1-0, I swear to God, the laughing
if you're
is
gonna
gonna
lose, if you're gonna lose, furthermore, if you're gonna beat PSG, just make sure it's like a 4-5-0 thrashing. Just make sure it's a demoralizing victory. Do you know what I mean?
That's not gonna happen. Me and you both know that's not gonna happen.
I like the
Chelsea don't have the facilities for that thing and scoring no 4 goals against PSG.
Proper Chelsea, you know what I mean? Proper Chelsea, man.
We
won it all.
The thing I like, the thing about Sanchez was that he played well at the end of the season. That's not true. We just dropped back 10 yards and just defended better, so we didn't have to save anything. That's all we did during the run-in. And we saw on the semi-final where he had a chance to come out and stop that thing, and he still hesitated and was still too slow. And it's only Gyokeres that saved it from being 1-1. Listen, PSG are obvious favourites. I have no problem saying
Andrew, can I say this, right? When it comes to cup competitions, I don't write anybody off when you're in the final.
Exactly, you can't.
Once you're in the final, I can't write you off. I can talk about how good PSG is. We can talk about what stage Chelsea is at or whatever it is. But when it comes to, look, it could end up being 0-0, go to penalties. As crap as Sanchez is, those 5 penalties are probably the only thing he'll ever save in his entire career. And that's how you never know. Like, this is the thing about when you're in the final at a cup competition. You take your chances.
Yes,
right? Against the PSG, I know it's going to be hard because they seem like, it is what it is. They've been beating teams and like they're the best team in the world right now. But you're in the final, and once you're there, you stand a chance. I can't even write Chelsea off. Like, I can tell you PSG is better than Chelsea right now, but I can't write Chelsea off. That's stupid.
Can I tell you what I hate the most? I'll tell you something that I hate the most. You see this fucking club called Chelsea. Every fucking time they're the underdog, they end up winning. There's just this thing. I hate when they're the underdog. I prefer when Chelsea are favorites because it's just better. You get me? These fuckers went to the Allianz Arena and won against Bayern Munich in a Champions League final. And then they beat Pep's Manchester City in a Champions League final. Like, these guys, we're the only ones actually to stop them in the underdog scenario. Like, we're actually the only one to beat them as underdogs. Like, every time they're underdog, they manage to win somehow. Like, they go play an FA Cup final against Leicester when they're favorites, and they end up losing to Leicester in an FA Cup final. Like, they're just so irritating when they're the underdog because they just find the fucking way. The only thing I'm looking at tomorrow's game, like from a pure football perspective, is midfield is Chelsea's strongest point.
Yeah.
But it's also PSG's strongest point.
Very much so, yeah.
The issue is, for Chelsea's perspective, is can Chelsea be clinical in front of goal? That's very important for them because against PSG, as we saw with Liverpool, as we saw with Arsenal, sometimes you only get 2-3 chances and you have to put them away.
Yeah.
And can the Chelsea back 4, back 5, whatever it is, actually handle those like interchanging wingers all playing against them? That's the question. Because people keep talking about Reece James and Cucurella. Guys, it's never about Reece James and Cucurella. Put them to the side. We know Reece James is good. We know Cucurella is good. We're talking about the 2 centre-backs. Can the 2 centre-backs handle Dembele, Kvara, Doué, Barcola? That's the real question right there. Can they handle all of that?
That's why my starting lineup, because I was on Don's channel and agreed with him, it's like, if Lavia, I don't think Lavia's fit, but I would start Andre Santos. I wouldn't I would put Andre Santos in there with Caicedo instead of like dropping Enzo deeper. I would put because I don't think Enzo and Caicedo would handle that PSG midfield by themselves. They just wouldn't. They get overrun. And also, I was like, I'd put Pedro Neto on the left to occupy Hakimi a bit more, because I think Hakimi is the more threatening of their fullbacks in terms of going forward and goal scoring. So I would do something like that. João Pedro, as you know, Simon, big up to you. You wanted João Pedro for ages, or you just said you take him at Liverpool because he gives you a Firmino thing. Gives us a different dimension than playing a Nicholas Jackson or a Liam Delap or anything like that. It's just he brings more play. For me, he'll bring more players into the attacking sense. He'll take up more. He'll take up space. He'll take up more of the defenders' minds. It's just how long does he last, given that he literally 2 weeks ago he was on a beach in Brazil somewhere kicking about in the sand, and now he's like playing. But you're right, it'd be fascinating how Maresca responds to that. He has to get his starting lineup right, because PSG are just relentless at this moment in time in terms of the way they're able just to switch around their attack, and then midfield is very good. Vitinha's just playing in another universe at this moment in time when it comes to midfield. But they are missing Pacho, who I really rate as a defender. Pacho is very good. I really rate him as a defender. So it's just something that I'm really looking forward to. Actually, you know what? I don't think like I said earlier, it's like, they beat Real Madrid 4-0, but Real Madrid are just not Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a proper Real Madrid. It's just not. And you gave
You're
him 2 goals.
taking the piss, Papa Bear. Did you just call Dayo and Brandon Chelsea sponsors because the Madueke? You fucking fraud, bro. Man said, thank you for bringing up PSG, a Chelsea fan and 2 Chelsea sponsors. You know something? I rate that right there. That's a great answer.
Problem is, Dayo's not going to respond to that because it's not a super
let
chat.
me just say this.
You know.
First of all, your point about Caicedo and Enzo is so wrong. It's so wrong.
Okay.
Those 3 can evade the press like no other, the PSG ones, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Those 3 are not normal. And that's why Thierry Henry, even on CBS, when he was doing like analysis of the Liverpool PSG game, he was like, Vitinha, oh my God, because that guy with 1 pass can just fuck up your whole plan. Like, just 1 pass and everything you do is just screwed. The problem is with PSG, when you're scouting PSG, when you're looking at PSG, if you're Enzo Maresca right now, you're meeting with the players pre-game, what do you say is the weakness of PSG? There is no weakness. That's the problem. The problem is when you face a team that literally has no weaknesses. That's something that you have to take a step back and go like, shit. Right hand side Hakimi, left hand side Nuno Mendes, centre back partners Marquinhos, Pacho, midfield 3 Vitinha, João Neves,
Pacho can't play, suspended.
I don't know. I think.
You see, he's got 2 game suspension, so he can't play.
I think the only way that Maresca can set up for this game, I think the only way that Chelsea
Thank
can
God
win
you
this
told
game.
me that before I said some crazy shit. Thank God.
Go
ahead, Brandon.
Like you said, you have to accept that. I think PSG's midfield's just ridiculous at this moment in time. They're going to have the majority of the ball, right? As much as Chelsea might want to have the ball, PSG are going to dominate that possession. So I think the only way that Maresca is going to get Chelsea to potentially win the game is he has to be brave in some sense, but he also has to be very reserved. I think Chelsea probably have to drop 5-10 yards deeper, defend and try and hit PSG on the counter-attack, because you're going to get space in behind. Yeah, Hakimi and Mendy like coming forward. You've got Neto, he's got pace. I don't know who you play on the other side.
He's been playing. And even though we've had like Noni and a couple of other things, he's been playing normally with 1 winger and like 2 10s this whole tournament. So he's like.
See, it might even be an option, right? Because I think you play João Pedro up front. Yeah, he will hold the ball up for you, but he's not really got pace. I think that you're going to have to play Nicholas Jackson in this game simply because he's got pace to get in behind. So maybe it might be an option of playing maybe Jackson on in one of the wide positions, but coming in as like a second striker and then having João Pedro up front to hold the ball up for you as well. I think that's where he's going to have to be kind of brave across the front line. But in order for Chelsea to get anything out of this, they've got to defend properly and really shut down this PSG side, because they're no joke, bro. They're absolutely no joke. When Doué's running at you, Dembele's running at you, Kvaratskhelia running at you, and they've been running at you for 70 minutes of a game, and then all of a sudden you're seeing Barcola coming off the bench. You're seeing this player coming off the bench. You don't get a minute's respite with that team. So Chelsea can skank it, but I think if they're going to skank it, it's probably going to go penalties. I don't really see.
Please no. I'm doing a watch along. I can't be arsed, please. Please. And then I've got to listen to fucking Hamza and Ahwa for 2 hours later. Please.
I just want to go. I don't know if we miscommunicated. My thing about the Enzo Caicedo thing is I wouldn't start them in the pivot. I'd put Andre Santos beside Caicedo in the pivot and have Enzo still in there. Some sort of match him up.
Teams with Reece James in the pivot.
Oh no, because he's not. No, I can understand the temptation. I think Gusto would be destroyed. I just think he would. He would be. He's not in good form for at least over a year now. He played well the other night, but in patches. But I think Reece will start. It's just I don't think he'll finish the game for obvious reasons. But I just put the energy of Santos in there and push and match up with Enzo in there as well for more of the attacking side. And like you said, I'd actually start Neto on the left to occupy Hakimi a bit more, so give Hakimi something to think about. Because while I do rate both their fullbacks, I think Hakimi's the more dangerous one out of the two, because he adds a goal scoring threat as well. So if I'm
Hakimi could just run in behind like a right
that's what I mean. But if you've got like Pedro Neto on that side, then you leave a lot of space there. And we saw, I know it was only against Fluminense, but we just saw that first goal where João Pedro was able to take the ball and just release Neto on the left and everything like that. And it's just options. I would rather Maresca, like you said, PSG got very few weaknesses. I think Maresca has to think about our strengths more than PSG's weaknesses when it comes to that. What can we do to maximise our strengths going there? Do you know what I mean? We've got a very good midfield. When we match it up with them, let's see. But I don't think if we start with Enzo, because my fear is that he'll actually start the same team that started against Fluminense. And
with this Chelsea project that you're talking about right now, is Todd Bowley low-key cooking now? Can we say that?
Well, I don't think... The problem is, Todd Bowley, this is where people get it wrong. Todd Bowley is not in charge of the
recruitment. What we mean? When we say Bowley, we mean like Iqbal, whoever. Blue coat cooking.
Yeah, blue. Let's just say clearly, whatever it is.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm hesitant until they get me a goalkeeper, Sam. That puts a major. Until they get me a decent goalkeeper, Sam. This puts a major cap on this team, because there's no team in the history of football that's won things consistently with an average goalkeeper. It's just not in the world. I've always you hear me bore it. I so respect the goalkeeper position. Like I said to you, in your 22-23 season, without Alisson, you would have finished 10th. Seriously, you would have finished 10th.
Oh yeah, that bad year where we had. Yeah.
You would have finished. You wouldn't.
Alisson, I think, won Liverpool Player of the Year actually.
Yeah,
that year.
he was. But look at David De Gea for flipping Man United when he was like 4 years in a row. He kept them relevant for 4 years.
He saved them.
Yeah, he saved them from like even what he is right now. And even our history of goalkeepers. That's why I never understand Chelsea fans who go, "Oh, we can get away with it for a year with Sanchez." No, we can't.
Who would you go and
We're
get?
going into Champions League, and even Arsenal have improved their goal. Arteta's improved the goalkeeping position over the years. He's seen it. He went up a level.
Yeah, he signed like 15 goalkeepers.
Yeah, but he went. but at least he recognised it though and went up. He went.
But
well,
you guys have like 8 goalkeepers, right?
No, we sold like 4 of them. I think. Now.
I know you have like 7. Why are they still?
What happened to that hashtag?
Why are they still on your
United
website?
as well?
Why are they still on your website if you sold them? Why
no,
are they still listed in your club?
Which one? Well,
all of them. You have 7. You have
Petrovic and Bettinelli have gone, so that's 2 of them. Penders are going out on loan. I think two of them have left, so we're down to quite a lot at the moment.
Yeah, Kepa's left as well. Kepa's at Arsenal.
Kepa's gone. So yeah.
Now you're down to
You don't remember that, do you, Dayo? You didn't remember you bought Kepa, did you, Dayo?
No, because Kepa was on loan. Kepa was on loan last season when he still had 7 goalkeepers on the books. That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
very true.
at the club, is what I'm saying. So
That's
the way
what I mean,
I kind of counted it, I counted Kepa as he's on loan, but you still had 7 guys on your side.
That's where, like Sam's question, are they cooking? They haven't bought me. They're still not addressing one of the top 2 most important positions on the pitch, and that's goalkeeper.
So the question is,
in terms of results,
who would you go and get as your goalkeeper? Who would you go and get?
I would have got. Obviously, I would have paid the extra for Magnan because it's just obvious. Yeah. I would have done that. I would have done it. Even though he's got a year left, it don't matter. He could still give us like 4 or 5 years in there. Do you know what I mean? While we're waiting for.
Do you think tomorrow's result affects the project in any way, shape, or form?
No, it depends. If we get a battering, I don't think it affects the project. I think it affects what levels the team.
I think if Chelsea beat PSG, we're never going to hear the end of it.
Oh, ever. Yeah, we'll be absolutely shamed.
Oh, we're never going to hear the end of it ever. I don't think. I think the only way it actually affects the project is if Chelsea win. Because everyone expects Chelsea to lose. So if Chelsea lose tomorrow 3-1, it's not like everyone's going to go like, oh, hold that, like whatever. Everyone expects
I don't want it to us then, because we still need, like, for me, I think we need another centre-back still, because I don't like, I know Cole was progressing well, but I think we need another one like that, and then definitely a goalkeeper, and then there's still rumours that we're going to go get another attacker or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's probably not going to be a striker, but like a wide player or another 10 or anything like that. Maybe like
you could get Gyokeres now.
I don't think we've never been linked to Gyokeres this entire summer. I have no idea. I think we're gonna.
It's not like you ain't got the money. We've just given you 52 million. Stop being tight.
Actually, you've given us 57 with Kepa's 5, so you're giving us nearly 60. So that's what you're giving us. You're giving us.
We've given you.
Sporting Lisbon, give them that 60 million and like two children on loan, and you're good.
Listen, imagine this, right? We've given you 115 million for Kai Havertz and Noni Madueke. 115 mil.
I think what might happen. Sam,
that's why you're the Chelsea sponsors.
I think, Sam, what might happen near the end of the window is that we it won't be called a swap, but we might sell Jackson to Villa and we might buy Morgan Rogers, something like that, to add to the squad.
What's actually left for Chelsea to sign now? Like, what's actually left?
Goalkeeper for me.
We agree.
And another centre back and left back cover for Gyokeres because there's no left back. We have no left back.
Left back cover, whatever. Like the other one,
so important
starter. Let's say
goalkeeper and centre back definitely. They'll need another attacker because I think Nkunku.
So you're happy with Colwell, I assume.
I'm happy with Cole's progression, but we need another centre back definitely because I can't trust Fofana's fitness, and Chalobah and Tosin are okay, but I don't trust them for a full season. Do you know what I mean? I think
of course. So you need another centre back.
Yeah, and I don't like Badashile or Disasi. They're rubbish.
You could get Saliba if you want.
You might buy Kanate. Let's buy Kanate off of you.
I'm tag teaming with you, you prick, and you can't turn on me when I'm tag teaming with you. That's not the whole point of a tag team. You just stab me in the back within a second.
I just Seth Rollins your ass. That's what happened right
there. The thing that I fucking hate about your club is we scout the same players. We're linked to Hato and Gahey. You're linked to Hato and Gahey. I'm like, fuck all this, bro. Like, why?
Nah, Gahey, we were always linked to Gahey. He's a Chelsea lad. We always linked to Gahey.
Yeah, I know.
No, I would. I think that, and then another. I think we will sign another attacker. I think we just will, just for the balance because of obviously Noni's gone, and Nkunku will probably go, and that absolute fraud João Felix will definitely go as well. So. He'll be out the club, or 65% of him will anyway. So he'll be out the club. So.
I think PSG are going to slap Chelsea tomorrow. I won't even lie to you. Like I hear Andrew's war.
You're hoping.
No. I hear your war speech and stuff, but I just think you know what it is. I really just don't think your forward line is clinical enough. Like Joao Pedro might score. You know how much I like Joao Pedro, but the others I just don't trust. Like, go 1-on-1 with Donnarumma and fuck it up somehow. Like, I just see that type of shit happening. I think PSG are gonna win like 3-1 type scoreline tomorrow. So I actually think PSG can handle
you know what it is. You know what makes the difference tomorrow? Like you just said, Donnarumma. I think Chelsea will get some opportunities, but Donnarumma, if he keeps up the way he's been playing all season, like the way he's kept them in many games as well. Let's be realistic. Like you said,
against Bayern.
He's kept them in many games. And so Donnarumma makes the big difference, as you said. The goalkeeper makes a big difference. Because your keeper is not at the levels that he's supposed to be, that's where the scary thing is. It's a simple mistake or a simple shot where he's just going to fluff it, and then that's the end. It goes in the net. Like that could literally just kill the entire game.
We can't do what Real Madrid give him 2 goals. Like Real Madrid gave him literally 2 goals.
Exactly.
This head start. Do you know what I mean? It's that be
just for pain's sake, first of all, I'm doing a watch along. I've been bullied by my subscribers because I don't want
so what a tough
because I didn't want to do Club World Cup nothing, but I got bullied by the subs. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Some guys, I just fucking do it, whatever. And just for pain, I want Chelsea to be the better team, dominate, and then Sanchez just gives it to Dembele.
That's what you want.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the best thing ever. And the reason why it'll be the best thing ever is just one person's reaction, Lewis' reaction alone. Because you can't stand Sanchez, innit? I swear to God, I'd laugh.
These things that
the rest of the night I wouldn't do anything. I just watch Carefree Lewis stream. That's it, the whole day. I just keep
blood pressure. You want Luis's blood pressure to go up? Just allow the guy, man.
Imagine Chelsea have like 70% possession and shit, and then Sanchez just give Dembele the ball. They win 1-0.
You know it'd be like PSG will get a red card. PSG will get a red card, and Sanchez will still make the mistake, and we lose 1-0 or something like that. That'll be it, like that. It'll be like last minute, like injury time, and he throws it. He just throws. You've seen him. He just throws it out just like that. Like he's playing cricket or something like that. Sometimes just throws it out. And he did it I think he did it at Benfica. He literally threw it out, and then he blamed Caicedo, who wasn't even looking at him. Like he just went like that. And you're going. That's why people go, I need Sanchez to game his life. No, I need him to be quiet. I don't even need his name read out. When they call the players out one by one, like they've been doing ridiculously, like they're wrestlers or something in this competition. Like
like you're making Royal Rumble appearances.
I need Sanchez to be the guy who, when they come back from TV, they're already in the ring and they don't even announce him. He's just on the pitch in the goal. That's what I need. I need Sanchez to have a 6 performance and we win like that. That's all I need. That's all I need. Like
let me just grab the super chats before we talk about where Rodrygo ends up, because there's more news today, and we're going to be talking about Arsenal as well. You get me? Arsenal, Rodrygo, same topic with the Chelsea sponsors. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so, guys. We're like almost at 300 likes. You have 1,000 people in here. Let's just get 500 likes. That's all I'm asking for. It's a free button. Close your live chat. Hit the like button. Big up to Boston Ralph. Oh, I know this guy. In this Ronan. That is Ronan. We are healthy and informed. They don't play a low block. We are winning that trophy. Big up Don Hussam and Ronan. I love you, bro. But PSG don't need to play no damn low block, bro. Like, it's just, why would PSG play a low block when they've got the likes of Vitinha in there, bro? It's just like, you just don't need to play a low block with someone as good on the ball as him, But fair enough, you trust your team. I hear it. Blaze has been so mad at me since the stream from earlier because I said Chelsea have only 10% chance. He was so angry at me, honestly. Love you, Blaze. Blaze you. Hassam, honest to God, weren't you as confident of beating Newcastle in that final and Madrid beating Arsenal as our rivals of PSG smoking us? City, Palace, and Spurs Cup. Okay. I said Crystal Palace were going to win the FA Cup. Don't lie. Number 1. Number 2, I backed Spurs. We were singing on the Spurs go marching in because Man United is our biggest rival. Now, here's the thing with Real Madrid and Arsenal. Now that the season is done, can we all establish No one believed that was going to happen before the game. Okay, no one thought it was going to be Arsenal 3.
No. Before the game,
Arsenal
I
3
said we were
Madrid
winning.
nil. Arsenal 3. Arsenal 3. I'm
No,
saying.
I didn't think it was 3, but I said we were winning 2-1
That's what I'm
at
saying.
the
No one
Emirates
expected
and
that
1-0.
shit.
Yes, I did
Okay,
say that.
Dayo, you worked with me before the game. Imagine I told you Arsenal are going 5-1 on aggregate. You'd have
Not
laughed in my
5-1,
face.
but I said
Yeah.
we're going to win. That's
Yeah,
the
okay.
thing.
You said you're gonna win, but I remember exactly what you said. You said you're gonna draw 1-1 away and win 2-1 at home. That's
Yeah.
what you said. Yeah. So there's a difference between that and fucking 5-1. You know. So no one expected that shit. And I said Arsenal have a 1% chance. Guess what? The 1% came to fruition. Look at me. Listen, Blaze. I know you love
You are a scam. You are a
But
scam.
I
So
just
1% equals 5-1. The 1% was 5-1. Hossam, how this maths that you're mathematically mathing here is not mathing at all. How can 1% is equal to 5-1? Like 1% is equal to 0-0 at the Emirates, and then 1 red card for Madrid at their place, and then 1-0. Like that, or 1-0 at the Emirates, 2 red cards for Madrid at the Emirates, and then when they get there 0-0. That's 1% chance. 5-1.
You know when Declan Rice scored that second free kick?
Your math is
I think
not-
I had more live viewers than like 7 Arsenal fucking YouTubers put together. Like it's just when fucking Arsenal scored that second goal, I think the entirety of the Arsenal fan base was in my comment section going like, "Oh, 0% chance, Hussam, 0% chance."
When we scored the second goal, you know what I was saying? I was like, this is it. They're going to score 1, and we're going to go take a 2-1, and let's just take 2-1 down there. Like that was all I was asking for. Like I wasn't even asking for that whole 3-0 nonsense, because look, first and foremost, nobody would have predicted that. But the same thing for Chelsea in this final. Like I said, PSG,
and we've never even seen Rice take a free kick like that ever before. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, I think this was I think they said this was his first free kick in how many games? In some crazy
a direct free kick.
Direct free kick, yeah, like in about 30. Is that maybe 30?
He usually takes the indirect free kicks for us.
Yeah.
Because I remember
he's usually crossing balls into the box type thing, but never like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a tremendous whip on it. That's what it. That's what it was, like that. It was. I remember people get like, even like after the second leg, people were still going, yeah, but it's Madrid at the Bernabeu. They've seen them come back, and it was like, I don't know. I had my doubts.
You know the funny thing, because I told Hussam this when that game, when Arsenal was, when we were drawn with Madrid and we had to play Madrid. I told him, I said, I remember, I don't even remember this exact statement, Hussam, where I said, I don't have Real Madrid PTSD because I've not played them many times, and the few times I've played them, I've never lost to them. Do you understand? Like, so for me, I'm not.
Yeah. There's no history of.
There's really no history for me to be like, oh my god, yeah, I can rate you and say you're very good, but even when you were very good with your Galacticos, you did not beat me.
Yes.
Do you understand? Like, so for me, and everybody was like, oh, but you had Henry. I'm like, yeah, I had Henry. They had the These guys had everybody. Everybody.
The only way, like, the thing is with tomorrow's game is the thing, and I said this, I just hate it when Chelsea are underdogs. So I'm not even gonna talk too much shit. So that's why I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it honest. You know, I'm saying 3-1 PSG. I'm not saying 4-5, nothing crazy. You know, 3-1. You know, PSG are 2-1 up, and then like when Chelsea are attacking, PSG score a third on the counter or some shit like that. You get me? I'm gonna be peaceful today. England, get ready. It's coming home. We're gonna do it for London, is what Harris is saying. Do it for London. I love that idea.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, now Road King TV, my brother, big up to you, man. He says PSG is the better team, but I love being the underdog. I hate when you're the underdog. It's a final. Everything that happened before tomorrow doesn't matter. If anything goes wrong, it's Sanchez. But if everything goes right, it's Joao Pedro. I told you, asses. Every fucking Chelsea fan who doubted me, Texas Blue, you're a fraud. Blaze is a fraud. Everyone who doubted my Joao Pedro take is a fraud. I told you he's Firmino regen. I told you he's Firmino 2.0. People don't want to listen. Oh my god, this guy's only saying this to gaslight.
Do you know what it is with Joao? Do you know what it is with Joao Pedro? Let's face it, because we watch Brighton when they play our teams mostly, don't we? We don't really watch Brighton any time else. Do you know what I mean? We only watch them when they play one of our teams. Joao Pedro starts a lot of Brighton's attacks and finishes a lot of them. When he goes to a better team,
I think you'd even see the best out of Joao Pedro if you get a goal-scoring winger as well.
Right. But what I'm saying is, he won't have to start a lot of attacks like he did at Brighton.
Yeah, of
That's why
course.
people go. That's why people. Oh, he didn't score a lot of goals. Yeah, but he also started last. I mean, he started a load of attacks and had to do this and that.
I wanted him at my own club, bro. I rate Joao Pedro so much. I just think he's too good for Brighton. With all due respect.
I think the way. Listen, he does. Listen, I think that term of playing with better players applies to him.
Yeah,
I think it does. I think it does. I think he would do. Listen, when you talked about him going to Liverpool, I understood where you were coming from, and I think he would do very well at Liverpool.
Yeah, he would.
He would do very well at Liverpool, especially like Wirtz and Salah, and I think he would bring in.
The only club he'd fail at is probably United, but that's because they're a graveyard for talent.
That's just.
But you have to give kudos to Brighton though. Their scouting team does amazing. Like I don't know what there's something that they do at that club to find all these players. The Caicedos, the Cucurelas.
Trust me, they've already got.
You should have hired them to find you a dribbling winger for like 1 million. No one heard about. It would have been easier for you. Noni Madueke dribbles for 50, no problem. There's this guy in this Belgian league, he dribbles for 1 million.
Dayo,
let's go get him instead.
Dayo, you know for sure they've already got Belieber's replacement already lined up.
Definitely. Definitely.
This is just like when we faced Bayern in 2012 or City in 2021. No way in paper we're winning, but somehow we did. Sometimes they do rise to the occasion. That's why I hate it when you're underdog. It just gets on my fucking nerves. Like every time these fucks are underdog, they win. Big up, guys. I'll see United. I'm here for Dayo, my favorite Arsenal fan. Very level-headed. Ooh, Dayo's getting a compliment.
He doesn't want these type of super chats. He wants aggressive.
Thank you.
Passive aggressive super chats so he can respond.
The day that Dayo asks for insults, he's getting compliments. You cannot ride this.
Yeah,
you actually cannot ride this.
Brandon is like, what in the world?
Big up to Seven, who says Chelsea fans thinking they're winning this, laughing my ass out. Spurs fans, Seven.
Man, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not just going to write these guys off, man. It's a cup game. It's a final. Look, and the reason I don't write them off, I use examples of teams that you would never expect to win certain type of things. I'll give you an example. The Olympics, 1996. The Nigerian team was not meant to win that Olympic gold medal. We played Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. Like semi-final, quarter-final, like you don't even understand. In the final, right? We were 3-1. I think it was 3-1 down to Brazil in the final with like 15 or 20 minutes to go.
Which year was this?
1996.
Yeah.
The Olympics. We scored a last-minute goal to make it, I think, 3-2. No, we scored 2-2, then 3-2. Last minute
Argentina.
Against Argentina, yeah. In the fight. It was crazy. Like, so for me, I know people will say, oh, this is the Club World Cup as well. So when I use the Olympics as an example, it's just because I'm talking about a tournament that, is not genuinely like a league. It's just something that has just been formed. We know about it. Teams are in there. My thing is you can't write Chelsea off. You can't be like, oh, yeah. You can talk about how good PSG are, and you can talk about where Chelsea are in their own stage of what they're trying to do. But in any of these type of tournaments, it's crazy the things that you might see happen.
We saw
oh my God! Have you guys? I'm looking at the Argentina and Brazil teams from then.
Watch it. That is proper.
Ayala, Zanetti,
yes,
Simeone, Crespo, Ortega, Gallardo, Delgado. Watch this. Yeah, this is the Brazilian team that finished in bronze, 3rd place. Dida, Bebeto, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Marcelinho, Luizao, and Juninho. Oh my days!
Yeah,
and those were the Nigerian team that beat them had Babayaro brothers, West, Kanu, JJ Okocha is the only ones I can recognize. The rest, Sunday Olise, I recognize.
Sunday Olise, he was
Sunday Olise, I recognize. The rest, I really don't recognize.
No, but
Sunday Olise played for Ajax, no? Yeah, he did.
Going back to, you've got to remember you've got to remember this PSG team, as great as they've been, they were hanging on against Aston Villa in that second half, that second leg at Villa Park a few weeks, like a couple of months ago. And Villa gave them a very good second leg game. I know the first half they battered Villa, but second half Villa came back strong into that game. You know what I mean? They're not, they've been very good since then, but everyone's got a plan. What's it Mike Tyson said? Everyone's got a plan to get
Everyone's got
punched
a
in the
plan
mouth.
until they get punched in the face, man.
Yeah, punched in the
Let me just read these two before. Wow, punch in the face. Let me just read these two before we go to the Arsenal stuff. We are. I think he means horrendous versus a low block. We can play anyone that wants to come out and attack. You can, but this is not anyone. This is the best team in Europe. That's the problem, and that's my argument. And we'll see tomorrow anyway. Inshallah, I'm not gonna be hiding anywhere. One team has Robert Sanchez at goalkeeper. Enough said. You wanna know something? That's a fact. No one can deny that.
Unfortunately,
like fair enough. You get me. Great point. No one can say shit to you. Big up to you, Tony. Listen, big up to all of you guys. Please do hit the like button. Please subscribe. And let's talk about Arsenal. Let's talk about Rodrygo. Let's talk about Noni Madueke. You get me. Arsenal, Rodrygo, type shit. I'm gonna start off with Brandon. Actually, hello, Brandon. It's been a while since we spoke. What do you think of this current Arsenal transfer activity? By the way, has anyone, just before Brandon goes, has anyone reliable actually reported that this Gyokeres thing could be off?
No, nobody has.
No,
it's still on. They haven't.
So it's just murmurs from Portugal.
It's just the sport. It's just that the sporting director came out today and
the president was like, he's gonna give him a fine or whatever it is. Like, I'm gonna fine him for not coming for training type of thing.
And he also mentioned no certain words. Arsenal will have to pay what Sporting want, essentially, like, which is fine for him to say so, but that's really only it. It's just.
He said they'll have to pay the fair market value, and then was like, well, they've met you at the fair market value already, according to everybody. So, what are you asking for again?
Yeah. I hear you. Anyway, go ahead, Brandon. Tell me your thoughts on the Arsenal transfer window so far and the Rodrygo situation.
Well, same Arsenal, different transfer window, Hassam. Who knew? Hey, who knew? Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about Rodrygo. Let's talk about Rodrygo first. We ain't getting Rodrygo. Don't care what anybody says. There's no way Arsenal sign Rodrygo. Yeah. If Arsenal was to sign Rodrygo on top of Eze, on top of Gyokeres, like everybody's saying that we're going to, on top of Madueke, you're talking about Arsenal spending in excess of 350 million. Arsenal don't do that. Yeah, we brought Madueke in to be a starter. We don't spend £50 million on backups. Yeah, we don't spend big money on players like that unless they're coming in to start. So I'm fully expecting Madueke to be a starter next season, or at least get a lot of game time, a very, very high amount of game time. So yeah, Rodrygo, if he does become available, I think he'll end up somewhere like Bayern. Bayern need a lot of wingers at the moment. They're struggling at the moment with wingers. They've let Sane go. Gnabry's no longer the Gnabry that he used to be. They got Elise, but that's about it, really. So I think Bayern are the ones that are looking for wingers. Of course, Liverpool could be in there as well if Diaz leaves. Chelsea, maybe another option. City's definitely an option. I think if Rodrygo becomes available, City will definitely be interested as well. So, yeah, it's not as cut and dry. Arsenal will not be the only team in for Rodrygo if he becomes available, and he won't pick Arsenal.
So who does Brandon think is going to be the front three for Arsenal?
Front three for Arsenal next season. It's funny you asked me this, Sam, because I've got a different take on Gyokeres, right?
Tell me.
Well, let's think about this professionally, logically, right? Arsenal have been linked to Sesko for the past 18 months. Arsenal have been working on Sesko for the past 18 months. Even in the January transfer window, right? There was rumours that Arsenal tried to go in for Sesko with Leipzig and tried to negotiate a deal where they could allow him to leave in the January transfer window for a price that we wanted to give them, and they refused. Therefore, that's why, we come into the summer transfer window once again looking at Sesko. It's only been really over the last month or so where Arsenal have kind of sort of started to show an interest in Gyokeres. And the obvious reason for that is because his goal scoring record, it speaks for itself, right? But my feeling with this whole Gyokeres thing is if we genuinely wanted him, we'd just pay the extra 4 million euros. Yeah? Gyokeres is doing something that most players don't do that you want, right? He is basically saying, I'm on strike. Yeah. I've effectively handed in a transfer request without actually handing in a transfer request. And on top of that, I am willing to give up £2 million of my own money in order to force this move through, right? And Arsenal are there haggling over €5 million, which is the equivalent to about £4 million. 24 hours after that, we dropped £52 million on Madueke. So it's not that we can't afford to do it.
And we in West London thank you for that, by the way.
Right. But I think what's happening here is, right, Arsenal are pushing along with this Gyokeres deal because they're kind of forced to, but they're hoping that in the meantime, while all of this is stalling, that they're going to get a phone call from Leipzig saying, "Hi, Arsenal, we've decided we're going to drop the price on Sesko," because that's the guy that we truly want. That's what I genuinely think, right? All of this media thing is just a front, really. You know, we sent Andrea Berta out to Portugal to try and wrap up this deal. Well, if you're flying out to Portugal, you've got to come back with a striker. Otherwise, I'm sitting here saying, well, what have you said out in Portugal that you couldn't have said over the phone? Do you know what I mean? For the sake of £4 million. So I'm sitting here thinking, is it because we want Sesko? Because if we genuinely did, we just pay the extra money. I think Arsenal still want Sesko. They still believe they have a chance of getting Sesko, and therefore that's why we haven't wrapped up this Gyokeres deal.
Okay, so in your conspiracy, who do you think the front three are going to be? Who are the 3 forwards that Arsenal will sign this summer?
As of this moment in time, I think Arsenal's front three next season will be Madueke, Gyokeres, and Saka. However, the longer this striker deal doesn't get done, I then think that Arsenal's front three would be Madueke, Sesko, and Saka.
Can I add to your conspiracy? Because exactly what you said makes a lot of sense. Maybe they're just haggling along the deal because they still want Sesko. And if a week to the end of the window, Leipzig doesn't call, they pay the $4 million and they still get Gyokeres. So the point is, regardless, it's a, you know, because Gyokeres has already.
I thought you'd be mad at that conspiracy. You agree with that?
No. I'm saying that the idea that maybe Arsenal still is hoping that Sesko is an option because that's who they wanted. Fair enough. As a club, that's who you wanted. So maybe you're waiting for Leipzig.
This is the waffling side of Dayo that people respect.
No. This is not what all I'm saying is think about it, right? They're probably saying I can pay the $5 million now and take Gyokeres and start preseason and I can move on with everything and forget Sesko. Or I can wait till a week before the window closes or 3 days before it closes, see that Sesko is not coming through, pay the $4 million and get Gyokeres in regardless, right? Because the Gyokeres deal, he doesn't want to play for Sporting anymore. So that's a done thing. All right. So on that aspect, it's not impossible. But what I do think is that as a club, we just don't want to be bullied into saying, hey, because they asked originally last season for 60 million and 10 million in add-ons. We matched them at over the 60 million, which is 65, plus the 10 in add-ons. And you say, no, you want 80 now. So we've matched you at 75, higher than what you quoted last season, higher than what you agreed with the player. And then suddenly you want additional 5. And again, if we just bend to everything that we do, then that means going forward in the future, it's going to have to be that way. So my thing is just, I know that these guys know their job. I don't know how sporting directors work. But, you know, whatever the case is, get me a striker this season. That's all.
Yeah, but this is the thing, Dayo, right? I get that aspect, yeah, and you're absolutely right. Maybe it is just Arsenal not wanting to be bullied into paying the extra money. I totally get that as well. As a football club, as an institution, knowing what happened to us last season because we did not have a striker, this football club should be going, do you know what? It's £4 million fucking pound.
But again,
we have no problem dropping 52 on Madueke.
Hold on. Last season was Edu. This season is Berta. They're two different people. And I, as a person, will not judge what Berta is doing until he's finished.
I still don't believe that.
I'm not going to take what Edu did and how Edu operated last season in the windows that he did and use that to judge how Andrea Berta is working. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like somebody's trying to judge me with what my brother did. I'm not my brother. Or I'm not my sister. Like, you know,
I'm not saying that.
Yeah. So
I'm saying that us as a football club, yeah, we suffered last season. We couldn't get anywhere near to a title race last season because we spent 5 months without a striker, basically. right? And yeah, we had the injury crisis on top. You know, we had a lot of other issues. But really and truly, if we go into let's delve into this transfer window for Arsenal so far, right? It's been massively underwhelming. It's been ridiculously underwhelming because when you go back and you look at the issues that were caused for Arsenal last season, number one, we didn't have a striker, and we haven't done for quite a while now. And there's quite a while that Arsenal fans have been calling for a proper number 9. So we should be going out and getting that done, right? And I expect we probably will get that done in this transfer window at some point.
You have to. You really have to.
We
will. That's not an issue.
We all know, right? The first season that Arsenal competed...
I'm actually buying this Brandon conspiracy now, you know? Because there is... Low-key, what he's saying, if you think about it, ain't crazy. Arsenal could end up with Sesko. What he's saying is not even crazy, I'll be honest with you. Like, if... So let's say Leipzig call tomorrow. So they want all that money up front, right? Let's say they accept, I don't know, 75 million in installments over 5 years. I think Arsenal might take that deal, you know?
Yeah, even if, right, Hussam, this is where it becomes, right? This is where it becomes a thing, because let's say Leipzig come back to Arsenal now and say, I tell you what, give us 80 million, right? But we'll accept 70 million or whatever it is we've dropped down on Gyokeres so far, up over a certain period of time, and then do the rest in add-ons, right? If it works out better for us, or it works out cheaper for us to go for that, we'll go for that. Because this guy, Sesko, is the one that we've been chasing for the longest. Gyokeres has only really became apparent to Arsenal.
Okay, can I ask you both an interesting question, genuinely, because I just thought of it while you both were speaking. So Dayo thinks that it could happen. So he's not like fully bought into it, but it's a possibility, let's say. So now we ask you both the $1 million question. And I want Dayo to answer this first, because I already know Brandon's answer. If Arsenal end up buying Sesko, does this prove now that Berta is just coming in there to be Arteta's yes man?
No, that doesn't prove anything. If Arsenal ends up getting Sesko, there was a reason they wanted Sesko in the first place. There was a reason they wanted Sesko.
Explain it to me. Tell me why.
So my point is, look, this whole trying to create a narrative that, oh, the sporting director is the yes man to Arteta, the manager. You guys only talk about it when it's Arsenal. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Andrea Berta, with all his...
We don't speak about this only when it comes to Arsenal. That's not true.
Andrea Berta, with all...
By the way, I said this about my own club.
Well, you know your club better.
In the last 2 years, by the way, the chat will tell you right now, they'll vouch for me. The last 2 years...
So
hear me out. The last 2 years of Klopp, what's it called? The sporting director did fuck all. It was literally all Klopp signings. I'll tell you right now.
Like I said, you know Liverpool. Okay, so that was the last 2 years of Klopp's reign, where Klopp had been there for many years. Andrea Berta just joined as well. So, I mean, this idea that he was brought in to be Arteta's yes man is the wrong way to phrase it. With all the experience that man has and what he has done in his history, the work that man has put in, you're just going to sit here and just narrate that, oh, all of a sudden they're bringing him to become Arteta's yes man. That's nonsense. Like, I don't...
Yeah, but then which one of the targets you could actually say is a Berta signing then?
Listen, the point
is... We're being objective. Because you wanted Zubimendi 2 years ago.
Listen. The point is, he still has to veto whatever it is that they all agree on. They work as a team. Nobody's anybody's yes man when you're working as a team. To sit here...
Okay, Fabrizio said that Madueke is Arteta signing. Am I making that up?
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. So Madueke...
You need to understand. None of us on YouTube, not me, not you, not Brandon, not Andrew, not any Arsenal YouTuber, even Robbie. No one is in that conversation. We can only go based off... 1 second, we can only go based off reports.
Okay, let's go based off reports.
And the most reliable journalist in the Premier League said that it's an Arteta signing. So why am I supposed to call him a liar?
He's an Arteta signing. And what does that mean?
Hang on.
Did Fabrizio say that, oh, on the wing side, Andrea Berta wanted this player, but Arteta wanted Madueke, and they got Madueke, and that's what it was? Or did he just say, okay, that's who the manager likes. The manager likes the player. That's cool. That's an Arteta signing. Because the narrative that you're painting is that Berta had
Berta just got who Arteta liked.
Berta had a player, and then Arteta had a player, but then Berta had to bow to Arteta.
Okay, so Berta just signed who Arteta liked then. That's even worse.
Like, they work together. There's a list. everybody on the list can be either Berta's person, the manager's person. This is why you have a scouting department. We all know how this thing works. We can't just sit here and just narrate like things that just don't exist. We know
but then
that.
are we not? Hang on, Dayo. Are we not then making the same repetitive mistakes, right? Right, because we've seen Arteta and Edu working together, right? And a lot of them signings that Arteta and Edu did together, as we would say, right, have been poor. Yeah, there's not that many signings that have been great under Arteta. Gabriel has been one. Yeah, some would say Odegaard is, some would say Odegaard isn't. You know, there's only really a handful. He's signed 33 players, and there's only really a handful of players that you can say have been a success at Arsenal, right? So when you bring in a guy like Andrea Berta, who's got the experience in that department, who has proven what he can do at another club, surely you give him more of the power. I understand there's going to be a list, and the manager. Hang on. Let me finish. And the manager has to sign off on the players, right? But there is no way in hell that you're telling me that Andrea Berta comes in from Atletico Madrid and goes, do you know what? That guy with a headband, who plays on the right-hand side for Chelsea, he'd be a player to sign for Arsenal. That was definitely a suggestion by Mikel Arteta, right? Hang on. Then look at the other signings that we've made. As Hussam was rightly pointed out, we wanted Zubimendi 2 years ago. Yeah, that wasn't when Andrea Berta was here. We've signed Zubimendi. We've been linked to Sesko for the last 18 months, way before Andrea Berta comes in. So if we get him, that is an Arteta signing, right? Norgard was also apparently an Arteta signing. He saw an opportunity there to go and get an experienced guy from Brentford for a cheap amount of money. That's cool. I'm happy with that. It's smart business, as some Arsenal fans would say, right? Right? But I don't look at any of these signings right now and say, Andrea Berta's stamping his mark here. Andrea Berta, that is a Berta type signing.
Here's my question. What is this question of this window about? Is it about Andrea Berta stamping his mark or us fixing the things that cost us the league last season? 3 things cost us the league last season. 3 major things. 1, a striker. I don't care who suggests a striker. Mikel Arteta, Andrea Berta's girlfriend. I don't care. Get me a striker, number 1. The second thing that cost us the league last season was depth, squad depth. We're addressing squad depth now.
No, we're not.
Losing their mind.
No, we're not.
No, hold on. I let you speak, Brandon. I let you speak. But looking at addressing squad depth, we lost Thomas Partey. We lost Jorginho. We brought in Zubimendi. We brought in Norgard. We have a Declan Rice that can play in that same position. We have a Mikel Merino. We have Ethan Nwaneri that can play in the midfield. So we literally have certain players. Like, okay, good. Now let's look at the defense. We're probably going to lose a couple of defenders. We've already lost Kieran Tierney. But we've lost Tomiyasu is out. I mean, he didn't play last season. I get it, which is part of why we said squad depth was an issue last season. So now you're addressing certain players. You're looking at Mosquera. You're looking at these players to fill up the squad. But then the main thing is the striker, which I think you need to get. Then getting a Noni Madueke. Look, the market prices are ridiculous. We all know this. We're not going to sit here and act like, Arsenal has... United paid 72 million for Højlund. Just a season and a half ago, 72 million. So let's not make it sound like the market is a 30 million market and Arsenal is overpaying. The market is what the market is. And again, Arsenal fans complain, behave like a big club. If you're going to sign a 50 million player or 52 million player and put him on the bench and make him a squad rotation, act like a big club and buy somebody that is also very good. Noni Madueke's numbers are not bad. I might not want him because he's coming from Chelsea, and that's the sentiment that most Arsenal fans are carrying. Because he's coming from Chelsea. If Noni Madueke was coming from PSV, if Noni Madueke was coming directly from PSV, Arsenal fans would not be losing their minds. The bottom line is Noni Madueke is not, I'm not shouting his props, but he's the same profile player like Saka. Profile. And let me explain what that means. They're both left-footed players who play on the right. So when Saka is resting, if you play him on that wing, you have a profile player just like Saka, maybe a different style. He's more direct, he runs in more, whatever the case is. The bottom line is you're not going to get a Saka for Saka like that will come to Arsenal and sit on the bench behind Saka. So if you get a Noni Madueke for that price, fair enough. That's what Chelsea value.
Do you genuinely believe that we're sitting this guy on the bench?
Well, hey, again, I'm going to quote what Arsenal fans say. It's not what I believe. You want the club to act like a big club. Now they're spending money. They're going to get Gyokeres, fingers crossed. They're bringing Noni Madueke, fingers crossed. You say they don't want to get Rodrygo. Again, I'm going to say this. You said we might spend 350 million. you have to look at how we're paying for these players. The money you spend annually goes in your books as a club. If we go for AZ, for example, AZ's release clause is 60 million, 20 million over 3 years, which means for AZ, we're paying 20 million. It's the down payments that you pay that you put in your books for the year, not the overall cost. So at the end of the day, Arsenal might end up spending 180 to 200 million just because we paid 50 here, 20 here, 17 here, just like that to bring in the players. So let's stop this narrative. The bottom line is I'm going to wait till the end of the transfer window before I judge everything that they're doing.
Dayo, that still applies to other players that we've previously bought. Yeah. You do realise that Arsenal still owe £30 million for Declan Rice in this transfer window, right? So that will go on to that as well.
You have to remember for last season, again, the profit that was made, which is why, again, we waited till July, even though our financial year ended in May, right? Just like Liverpool's own. The reason we waited till July is we wanted anything we spend this season to be counted towards this season. Everything we made last season as profit, you can pay out of that towards Declan Rice. I'm not a finance person. I just read the books the way they are. My bottom line is this. I'm just going to wait for the window to be done. Then I'll criticize them. The two things I want them to fix. Get me a striker, get me squad depth. And I don't want squad depth to the point where if Gyokeres is my striker and Kai Havertz is coming off the bench, I'm happy. If you bring me in a Rodrygo for 90 million and you pay 40 million down payment and you amortize 50 million over 3 years and Rodrygo agrees to come and it's Martinelli coming off the bench, I'm happy. If you are giving me what's it called, Zubimendi in the at the DM, and then in the Carabao Cup you're giving me a Norgard, I'm happy. Like that's all I'm asking for. Give me squad depth. If Saka needs to rest, we screamed about Saka last season. Here we were for 3 months when he was injured. Arsenal fans cursed out the manager.
It's about how much you
now we're bringing in somebody that can play on that wing, and here's what we're saying. Oh my God,
it's about how much you spent on the player you spent it on as well. And you're talking about sentiment. They have Arsenal fans have every right to be upset at Madueke being bought from Chelsea. By the way,
what I'm not saying they don't have it right. I'm saying I'm not.
Given the fact that you want to know something, I'll tell you the truth. Chelsea might not get Ethan Nwaneri. Okay, they might not. Most likely, Nwaneri will stay at Arsenal. He's agreed to
sign this contract today. They just said it earlier.
Most likely, Nwaneri will stay at Arsenal. But the audacity of Chelsea to try to attempt sign Nwaneri versus Arsenal signing Madueke and Havertz is a sign. Why aren't Arsenal going to Chelsea and attempting to sign Cole Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo, even Cucurella, someone like that? You're going to Chelsea and signing the scrubs. That's the problem. Willian, Havertz,
Hassan,
Madueke.
What the fact that he came from Chelsea just for a second, right? We're supposed to be going out there signing players that are good enough to take Arsenal to a major trophy. So every time we make a signing, we should be sitting there going, is this player good enough to win Arsenal a major trophy? If the answer is no, you do not fucking sign him. Yeah? Because I think people are forgetting, right? Yes, there's doing smart business with Norgard and with Kepa. I get the value for, we brought him in for cheap. That makes sense. I get that, right? But we've got a squad there and people are going, oh, bring him in. He'll be a good backup. Well, how about you bring in... I'm not saying bring in somebody that's better than Saka because you're not going to bring in somebody that's better than Saka. But ultimately, you replace the first 11 players that are not quite there and they become your bench players. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, when you look at Arsenal's transfer window...
Say that again. Replace your first 11 players and they become your bench players. Do you know what you're talking about there? That means that you're asking the same club you said will not spend 350 million to literally go and spend 500 million to replace the first 11 right now this season. What you just said there. Like, what are we... Like what...
I'm talking about quality. I'm talking about quality here.
Quality for quality. If you're going to bring in a player that... So let's start from the back. Let's replace Raya because we want better quality than Raya, right? Whatever goalkeeper.
No. That's a separate conversation altogether, right? Because we know that at no Premier League football club, right? So, for example, Liverpool had
Alisson. Chelsea.
Yeah, Liverpool have Alisson, and their second choice goalkeeper is not even on the level of Alisson, right? There's no team in world football that have a second choice goalkeeper that's just as good as their first choice goalkeeper, or it's very rare, right? So. But in other positions, you can strengthen to the point where, your first 11 players become your bench players and your new players become your first 11 players. Do you know what I mean? That sort of type of thing. Madueke ain't of the quality for Arsenal. He's not He's not
I
a
agree.
finished
I agree.
article.
By the way, I'm sorry, Brandon. I have to interrupt you there because that's the main point for me. My issue, people keep mentioning price tag and shit. I think Madueke would have been a shit signing for 5 million because he's not a good player. Like, I don't rate Noni Madueke. I don't think Madueke is good enough to take Arsenal over the line. And there's a conspiracy none of you mentioned, but that was mentioned actually earlier on by Diallo, who's also an Arsenal fan, and Jerome is mentioning it here, which is main question is why are Arsenal willing to pay 52 million for Madueke but stalling on Gyokeres? Something is really fishy between those two clubs. Listen, I'm not one to wear a tinfoil hat and go for conspiracies. All I'm saying is you're haggling over 4 million, 5 million for Gyokeres, but you paid it happily for Madueke. And Fabrizio stressed on the great relations between the clubs. Is something up between these two clubs? Like, what exactly is going on there?
Are we here to talk about Area 51? Are we here to talk about Area 51 or we're here to talk about football? Like, let's be realistic.
Area 51. You went there.
Like, let's be realistic again. Like, let's be realistic. See, here's my thing, Brandon. I hear you, right? Now you're saying, oh, we need to sign players that can get us over the line. If we are able to sign if all our first 22 players are all on the same level, that's never going to be possible. We're going to have to sign.
That's not what I'm asking for, Dayo.
I know. Here's what I'm saying, though. My point again is, if we bring in Gyokeres right now, Kai Havertz immediately is not going to be our main striker, right? Right. So Kai Havertz going to the bench, coming on as a sub, I'm happy with that, right? On the left side, I need somebody better than Martinelli because it seems like he's not doing what he needs to do. So that if Martinelli is coming off the bench, I'm happy, right? Right now, if I have a Zubimendi in 6 and coming off the bench is a Norgard, I'm not freaking out. I'm not like, oh my God. Oh, yeah, the levels are different, but at least there's reliability there. The same thing.
Okay, can I ask you a question that might make you freak out, Dayo and Brandon? What would your reaction be if Rodrygo signs for Liverpool?
My reaction if Rodrygo signs for Liverpool, again, the Rodrygo thing is up in the air because he hasn't said he wants to leave. But if he chooses Liverpool,
today was reported by 2 outlets. It's just
my point is, if he chooses, like I said, if he chooses Liverpool, then he chooses Liverpool. Like, there's nothing I would be mad because I want him to come to my club. But right now, the guy hasn't said he wants to leave. That's number one. Number two is, if he chooses Liverpool, recently Liverpool just won. Liverpool is the defending champion. If he's looking at England, he's probably looking at the defending champion. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to. There's no link that says that Rodrygo has given his all to Arsenal, and so Liverpool came in and stole him, and in that way, I'll have some resentment towards Liverpool. No, it's right now up in the air. It's not a thing that is tied to us. We want him because that would be the best person on our left side for us, and he'll be the best for any club he goes to. So let's
Rodrygo
not make
going to Liverpool makes zero difference, bro, because Liverpool winning the league next season. They are. Well, let's just be real about it, right?
It feels so good to be like a gangster, honestly. It just feels amazing.
Let's just be real about it, right? Arsenal, as much as we would love for Arsenal to go and sign Eze, Rodrygo and Gyokeres, the chances are we may get 2 of them 3. Yeah, we may get 2 of them 3. In which case, you could then argue that we'd be in a title race. But I still don't believe that even with 2 of them 3, it is enough to actually guarantee us winning the league, right? Purely and simply because I just don't rate our manager. Let's just put it that way, right? Others think differently. I just don't rate our manager. But I just want to bring up this point, right, real quick. When we're talking about squad depth, obviously we talk about quality, but we're also talking about numbers as well, right? Arsenal were really hurt last season by the fact that we just didn't have the numbers as well, right? We didn't when we had all them injuries, we didn't have the numbers to come off the bench. We was watching Arteta putting young kids on the bench, yeah, and then not giving them the opportunities. So let's talk about numbers. Thomas Partey's left the football club. He's been replaced by Zubimendi, right? So that's 1 in, 1 out. Jorginho's left the football club. He's been replaced by Norgard. That's 1 in, 1 out. Neto's left the football club. He's been replaced by Kepa. That's 1 in, 1 out. Yeah, Sterling's left the football club. He's been replaced by Madueke. That's 1 in, 1 out. So where's this depth then? Where's the extra players?
So let's talk about depth.
We had a 22-man squad last season. We have room for 3 more.
Let's. You said where's the depth? Can I answer your question? So if we're going to go by reports, as Hossam has been saying all show, we're going by reports. If we go by reports of every player that Arsenal is looking at this season, if Mosquera comes in, which means Miles Lewis-Skelly can push up front into the midfield, which gives us depth in the midfield because Calafiori can play left back. Yes or no? No, don't shake your head. No, you're asking for depth, and I'm giving
If
you names and numbers
Mosquera
now.
comes in, hang on.
No.
If Mosquera comes in, he'll be replacing Tomiyasu.
Hold on.
So that is one in and one out. That's my point.
You know what? You're not going to let me speak. So carry on.
No. You speak, but I'm saying it's one in, one out again, because if Mosquera comes in, he's replacing Tomiyasu. One in, one out.
Again, last season we had players. A lot of them were injured. Now we're bringing in players to replace we had the players. They were injured. We didn't have that squad there because of the injury. Now we're replacing all the injured guys and getting rid of all the people who are either aged or whatever the case may be, and bringing in younger, fresher legs, stronger people to replace those numbers. And again, if you bring in certain players can move to certain positions because players play multiple positions. So, for example, somebody like a Mikel Merino, who can play as a DM or as an 8, can now be the third DM if we need to. By moving Miles Lewis Kelly up. Because again, we have Mosquera coming in. If we go by reports, if you're bringing in Mosquera, he's replacing Tomiyasu that we did not have available the whole of last season.
Yeah, but
if we had him available, maybe we could have played a different thing against certain low blocks. Maybe thrown in whatever Miles Lewis Kelly up in the midfield and Tomiyasu in left back. So my point
is the problem, Dayo. Do you not see the problem here, right? Yeah,
I get have more than the number of players that you have. What we had was
Dayo is actually saying better depth in terms of two things. Better depth in terms of two things. Number one, availability. Number two, versatility.
No, I get that. But this is the problem that we're having, right? This is the issue. You're talking about moving Skelly into the midfield. Cool, he can play midfield. He played there throughout his youth career. Totally get that. Calafiori can play left back. Is he any good at left back? Yes, he's very good going forward, but defensively, very suspect, right?
I'm saying in different games, you apply those different players.
I get what you're saying. But what I'm telling you, Dayo, is Mikel... Let's say we have to move these players into the different positions that they are capable of playing. Are you going to get the same level of performance out of them compared to the position that they naturally play? And the answer is no, my friend.
No,
yeah?
But
if we end up having to play for a month of the season with Mikel fucking Merino in the 6, do you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying. But having players that can play multiple positions helps.
Let me ask you a question.
Only if they add the same amount of performance and quality as what they can in their...
By the way, you guys. I think this argument is going to go forever. There's one thing I want to say. You guys, one guy is arguing, but the problem is you both... Dayo, here's the issue, okay? You both want to be right, and no one's listening to the other. One second, please. Let me speak, because I'm listening carefully to you both. Brandon's argument is quantity. Dayo's argument is quality. Guess what? You're both right. And you guys know I never sit on the fence. I always end up with agreeing with someone. But factually, it's the same in number that are out. So quantity-wise, Brandon is correct. Quality-wise, Dayo is correct. Because Partey is never available. Tomiyasu is never available. Jorginho can't even walk on the pitch anymore. So quality-wise, he's right. So you're both right. So you're arguing.
I want to ask Brandon a question.
You're not arguing the same thing.
Last season, when if Thomas Partey is injured in the game and we're bringing Jorginho in, everybody's cringing. Last season. This season, if Zubimendi needs to rest in the game and we're bringing Norgard in, are you going to cringe?
No. I don't know. It depends.
It depends on what he shows us, which is fair. But
he's better than Jorginho.
Let's look at based on what you know about him. Just go based on what you know about him. And this is my thing. My thing is we've replaced certain of these players with more reliable players. And I'm happy about that. Players that I feel like, you know what, I've seen what you can do. I'm hoping you bring that same energy to Arsenal and that this season you get it kicking. That's all I'm hoping for with the players we brought in now. If we bring in a striker, which means Kai Havertz will be on the bench, I know what Kai is capable of already from the last couple of seasons. So now giving me a Gyokeres and Kai is coming off the bench, I'm like, play Kai in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. I don't care. Let Gyokeres banging goals in the league for me and in the Champions League. Boom. If you bring me somebody else on the left, I know what Martinelli can give me. Somebody better than him. So what I'm saying is it's one in, one out, just like last season. But last season we had a lot of unreliable players and injured players out. So replace those guys with reliable people and, and keep my fingers crossed and see what happens at the season. That's all.
Okay, listen, you want to know something?
Hang on, just real quick. Can I make one more last point, right? The reason why I'm talking about numbers being part of this as well as quality, right, is because we've also got to remember we've got about 6 players that are coming off the back of big injuries from last season, surgery injuries from last season. Gabriel had to have surgery last season. Bukayo Saka had to have surgery last season. Kai Havertz had to have surgery last season, right? We don't know how these players are going to come back and what they're going to be like. Bukayo Saka, when he first came back, did exceptionally well against Real Madrid and absolutely faded out towards the end of the season because he wasn't ready. So there's a big problem in terms of the depth, because some of these depth players might end up having to be used sooner rather than later if these players are not ready.
So Raheem Sterling, as useless as he was supposed to back up Saka, but he wasn't. So if Noni Madueke is coming off the bench to give Saka rest when Saka is struggling this season, I'm not hating it. That's all I'm saying. We brought in people to replace the bad quality that we had in our depth. Again, I'm not saying they're the best players, because you can't get like for like best players on your squad. Nobody's sitting on the bench for anybody. If we bring Eze in and Odegaard starts playing the first 2 games like he had been playing like crap last season, then Eze gets into the team. Do you understand? Like, I'm happy to have an Eze come and take Odegaard and give Declan Rice the captainship. I'm happy to do that. I don't care. Like, my
okay, guys, listen, you want to know something? Listen, you guys are never going to agree. So let's just leave it at that. And I think the best thing I can do is promise the people, inshallah, when the transfer window ends, I'm going to get Brandon and Dayo on the channel together. You get me again, to have this debate now that we know the facts. Because as things stand, we don't know the facts. I'll be honest with you, though, listening to everything that they are saying, if Arsenal do end up somehow signing Sesko, oh my days, I'm going to be so happy. But anyway.
Well, Hassan, one last thing, right? If you're Mikel Arteta, which striker do you want?
If I'm Mikel Arteta, I'm signing Gyokeres all day with if I'm Mikel Arteta.
No, you're not. Because if you sign Gyokeres and you don't get the tune out of him that every fan expects you to get out of him, bearing in mind he's one of the top goal scorers in world football, your job's on the line. If you sign Sesko and it doesn't quite work out,
he's a developmental player.
He's young. He needs to settle in.
I disagree with it. I'll tell you something, Brandon. No, Brandon. I'll tell you where you're wrong. I'll be honest with you. Even if Arsenal signed Winter Surfer this season, Arteta has to win a major trophy. No one gives a fuck. At this point in time, whether you're Arteta in, Arteta out, Arteta out, no one cares. This is the season where Arteta must deliver.
Let's just go by reports, Brandon. Let's go by reports again. Mikel Arteta was the one who insisted that the Gyokeres deal be sped up. According to reports, Mikel Arteta told Andrea Berta, speed up the deal, get it done quick. I need him for preseason.
Yeah, I think he would want Gyokeres.
So let's not do this. Like, let's not.
Yeah, I think he would want Gyokeres. I want to say that.
Rewriting this whole conspiracy thing and just painting.
There's too many conspiracies, Brandon. Just stick to one of them. Big up to African Giant who says, I'm low-key scared of Sam. Give me some confidence or it's khalas. You're coming to the guy that had PSG fans from the whole planet, including France, in his comment section as soon as the penalty shootout ended. I'm the wrong person to speak to when it comes to giving you confidence against PSG, because they scarred me for life. They came to Anfield, we were 1-0 up, and they still ended up fucking beating us. So what I will not do is give you fucking confidence. The only thing I listen, feel happy because, Pacho's not starting. That's there you go. That's your confidence. Other than that, you're fucked in midfield. You're fucked in defense, you're fucked in attack, and most importantly, you employ Robert Sanchez. So after everyone does everything right, Sanchez could just give the ball to Dembele and you're 1-0 down, and then after that, the floodgates open and it's game, set, and match. I love you, African Giant, but at this moment in time, PSG have started the whole of football.
African Giant, don't mind him. I'll say this to you. You have seen, I don't know if you've ever seen this happen, but in any cup final, anything can happen. I don't want Chelsea to, as much as I don't want Chelsea to win, I cannot write you guys off. I can never write off any team.
I'm not writing them off. I'm giving them 10%.
You're just saying, listen, and it might be Sanchez who plays the longest ball of his life for the first time, and he pings it to João Pedro, and João Pedro takes a one touch, and it's 1-0, and they play the lowest block of their life of Mourinho.
And then Dayo wakes up, he realizes it's just a dream. Anyway, guys, on that note,
I'm just saying.
we can wrap up the stream here.
I'm just
This is gonna
saying.
be so funny when this just ends up being 4-0 PSG. All this bullshit, like it's just gonna be funny. Big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. We are friends. I'm gonna be here inshallah tomorrow doing the watch along, but I'm scarred by PSG,
Again,
bro.
all of you. How many people are in the chat right now? How many people are in the
900.
Just everybody 900. Please, you guys, just like, hit the like button. I asked you guys to send super chat to insult me today. Somebody was giving me compliments. Like, what are you guys doing? You don't know.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. We got €2 of a sophisticated insult, but $5 of a compliment. So you got more people complimenting you than insulting.
That's something. I got more compliment than insult. Please,
I'm telling you,
bring the insult.
During the UK, it's the weather. It's making them mad. That's what it is. You know what I mean? You can't think.
It's hot.
Now, Andrew,
insults.
you work with me the most out of everyone here. Now you see why I complain in the winter. See, the roles are reversed. See, now you fuckers who are used to the cold is now hot. And they're like, oh my god, it's hot. See why when I freeze my ass off, I'm just not made for freezing. Right now it's like 30 degrees. I'm in my element. 30 plus, I'm so calm. That it's just it is what it is. Anyway, listen, big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Exactly what Dayo said. Banter on the pitch, True Gunners TV and Casual FC. Thank you guys for staying with us. I know it was a really long show. Big up to Jay as well earlier on. Make sure guys go subscribe to Jay's channel. We're getting redirected to Flawless. He's currently live. Go please tell him Hussam Raid in his chat. I'll be in his chat as well telling him Hussam Raid. Love to every single one of you guys. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow inshallah for Liverpool Preston. Be there. Peace out guys.